Alright, so before I start the Boruto manga chapter review, chapter 61 and stuff, I just want to do a quick info dump on you guys about where I've been for like this last month and stuff, because usually I'll post videos like once a week as like once every Friday or Saturday, so that way we can build up to like the next month's chapter. And I tried recording and reviewing some of the anime episodes because some of the 207 and 20 what was it 208 I don't know, I can't remember, like the Boruto Shiki and the versus Boro fight, those episodes right there, I recorded reviews for them and they got taken down by TV Tokyo, and they got claimed by YouTube. So I'm probably gonna have to change up how I do my editing if I want to do episode reviews. And to be honest, I don't see myself doing too many episode reviews on YouTube just for that very fact. So go ahead, follow me on TikTok, where I'm probably gonna start doing more episode reviews like that, where copyright strike is just a little more non-existent over there, and I'll be able to show visuals while also reacting and reviewing to the latest episodes. But for the YouTube channel, this is going to be a manga and theory discussion kind of thing. So yeah, without any further ado, let's go hop into the Boruto chapter 61 review. Alright. Boruto chapter 61. The cover starts off with the mad scientist himself. We got Amado smoking up. We still don't know what he's smoking on, because this man be having high ideas over here, creating cyborgs and stuff without any clearance or anybody's authority, nobody's supervision. He's just creating more superhumans inside of Konoha with their technology without so we don't know what's going on there. But that does not get addressed in this chapter, as I don't think it will be for a few chapters. But we start off the chapter, Boruto and the boys, Shikadai, Inojin, Kawaki, they're hanging out one of the card shops. Boruto, they're just chatting it up, and they get to discussing the whole chakra surveillance network that surrounds the village, like that whole little chakra net that they set up so they can track individuals' chakras of who is and isn't coming into the village. And they point out one of its major weaknesses, right? Basically, if an enemy is able to completely erase their chakra signature, then you can move around the village without anybody suspecting you to be there, right? So they wouldn't alert any of the sensors or any of the chakra networks. So when Jigen first teleported into the village to when he first teleported in to fetch Kawaki the first time, like how Ino was triggered in her flower shop and told everybody, or she told Naruto and stuff like that. Or no, I'm thinking wrong. It was Delta. When Delta first flew into the village, right? And Ino got that alert in her mind or whatever, and she told Naruto that Delta was coming in your direction. Basically, that's not going to happen if somebody can completely erase their chakra signature. And Kawaki takes note of that, so he starts scheming. Right, so Kawaki's scheming on something, and then the chapter moves forward, and we see Sasuke for the first time since Boruto stabbed him in the face, right in the eyeball, destroyed his Rinnegan, right? So Sasuke is looking pretty good for the most part. He's looking exactly the same. He still has the bangs covering up his his left side, so we don't get to see his Rinnegan or his Rene scar, or anything like that. And he's talking to these so-called elite Jonin. They're basically stationed out. These are ninja that Shikamaru, Sai, and Naruto approved of for posting up and basically guarding these claw marks that Code has left around the perimeter of the village. I believe they said there was about 8 of them discovered, and they only have 2 ninjas here watching this one opening. So I'm pretty sure, and since it's on the outside of the village walls, if Code teleported in from any of those locations, first of all, nobody's ever going to be able to sense that happening. And if Code is fast enough to kill these dudes before they can radio in that Code just entered the village, then like it's pointless, you know. And Sasuke decides to check this out. He takes a good look, like a really close look at the claw marks, and he determines based off of just like his thought process alone that Code's not going to pop up here. And one of those fake ass elite Jonins that are standing guard, they basically ask him like, why do you think that? Because you have no proof. So like, you know, your random assumptions aren't relevant, right? Like basically they're just doubting Sasuke. Like somehow these ninja just don't know who Sasuke is, right? Like who the hell are these guys? So like, you know, they ask him like why he, like what's his thought process, and Sasuke just says it's simply that if I were the one to like be in Code's shoes, I wouldn't have come in the village this way, you know what I'm saying? Which says a lot, because one, Sasuke used to be able to teleport around very similar to what Code is able to do with these black bands or the claw marks. And two, Sasuke literally like 16 years ago or whatever it is, when when Sasuke literally planned on destroying the village himself, you know what I'm saying? So he knows what he's talking about. Like, you know, he's planned on destroying the village in the past, and he's had similar abilities to Code, so he's able to think like the enemy. And he's basically saying this is a poor spot. Like if the enemy's smart at all, they wouldn't come out of this area. This is like a decoy, a distraction. And then the dudes ask, well, if you're right, then what are we supposed to do? And he's basically saying Shikamaru or Sai, one of those two, basically gave you your orders, right? Well, then just do your job and let me do mine. And then he dips, and that's like the last time we see Sasuke, right? And there's only like three things I want to talk about, main points I want to hit. So that Sasuke one, and then we see Amado and Shikamaru. They have a small conversation, and the only thing I take away from that is that Shikamaru still doesn't fully trust Amado at all. Like he straight up says it. Like he straight up says like, I still have this like I can't shake this feeling that everything that's happening is proceeding in some master plan that you've concocted, right? Like he still thinks that Amado's somehow behind everything that's happened so far, and that he's still in control of the entire situation, which could totally be the case right now. But like Shikamaru has nothing that he can do. Like he has no other moves that he can make other than letting this play out right now. So he continues to let things play out. And we transition to the Uzumaki household, which is really nice to see. You know, I don't know. I feel like it's really underrated. But seeing things happen in Naruto's house with Naruto's family, like, it's so different because Naruto never had a family, you know? So, like, now that we get to see what it's like in Naruto's house, it's just nice to see that it's, like, active and there's people there and, like, you know, they're living, and it's not just an empty space with Naruto having a couple boxers on the floor and a couple cup ramens, like, you know, like a lonely dude's house, like, you know what I'm saying? So like it's just pleasant to see. And we get, like, you know, visual of like another one of these freaking spies. They're not even spies, they're literally supposed to be keeping track of Boruto and Kawaki's whereabouts like 24/7, which, you know, is annoying for the kids because it feels like they have no privacy because they're on 24/7 watch, like, all the time. And like these guys can like track their chakra, so like when it doesn't even matter if they don't have visual on them per se, like they can track their chakra, so they know that, like, oh, like they're in the house. Okay, so I doubt they're watching these kids like take a shit or take a piss or take a shower, you know what I'm saying? But they can tell that they're like in the house, you know, because that'd be kind of creepy, you know what I'm saying? Like Boruto on that tablet a lot. But yeah, so Kawaki tries to test something out, because he basically wants to test out Inojin's like theory, where he's saying that, like, unless the enemy is able to completely suppress their chakra, then like you can go undetected, right? So Kawaki, he goes and he acts like he doesn't act like it. He takes out the trash, but he uses this as a decoy to get outside, and he basically like does, like, you know, they're ninjas, so he hops the front gate of Naruto's house, drops the trash by the front gate, and then he hops back over, but this time he lands in a tree, and he acts like he messed up, because when he exits the tree, he's like, gosh dang it, and like he's like taking tree branches and leaves, and he's like brushing it off of his clothes. Then he runs into the house, right? And then, like, you know, the little ninja guard dude, he sees all this happen, and then he reconfirms that, like, you know, Kawaki left the house. Oh, okay, Kawaki's gone back inside the house. We're all good. And then he, like, you know, Boruto's like, you know, yo, what's going on? And he sees Kawaki go in. Kawaki's walking upstairs. I don't know why, but something triggers Boruto into thinking that, like, there's something wrong with Kawaki. So he asks him if he's okay. Kawaki's just like, yeah, I'm tired. We can talk about it tomorrow and stuff. And that's when Boruto starts investigating, like, he's showing them Sasuke traits, the Minato traits, where he starts, using he tries to figure out what's going on, and he's like, he's basically noticing that he's got some, like, ability to sense Kawaki's position, but he's not, like, doing it in the same way that, like, the ninja bodyguards are doing it, where they're tracking his chakra. He's able to, like, sense him through, like, what's later explained to us towards the end of the chapter as, like, these, like, wave patterns, or, like, this, like, it's almost like a radio signal type thing. It's like a frequency, like it's an Osutsuki frequency that Kawaki gives off, and Boruto's able to sense it, and he's basically picking it up, and he can tell where Kawaki is, because he's like, wait, I just saw Kawaki walk upstairs, but I can clearly sense him outside the house. And then he can sense that Kawaki is moving and running further away from the house. So then he goes upstairs to, like, confront the shadow clone Kawaki, and he basically asks him, like, bro, what the hell are you doing? Like if you get caught, you're gonna tighten up the security that's already on us. And, like, Kawaki basically explains, or Boruto figures out that he's getting around the guard by, because Boruto goes outside to try to stop the real dude, the real Kawaki, and then he sees the guard, like, literally standing outside of his house, right in the front. And, like, that's what's creepy. There's just a dude always standing outside of Boruto's window, making sure he's there. Well, and this is why his kids are pissed off. But, like, Boruto notices, like, wait, how did Kawaki slip past the guy if, like, they're watching us all the time? Like, so, and, like, if he is, like, even if he is a shadow clone, he should be able to track his chakra. And then Boruto puts 2 and 2 together. Like, then that must mean Kawaki's completely erased his chakra signature, So Kawaki's on the move, closing in towards the edge of the village. And that's when Ida pops up, like, her Senreigan activates, and she's like, hey, Code, I should let you know right now, Kawaki's on the move. Like, he's alone. He's not, like, being, like, nobody knows where he is. He's literally completely alone, and he's on the move. He's leaving the village right now. And Code's like, oh, word? So I don't give a fuck, like, why he's moving or how he managed to slip away from those guards, but I ain't missing this opportunity. So he opens up his little gateway that's, like, stationed, towards the edge of the village. Like, it's in some trees on the outside gates of the village. So he pops out from this gateway, and he doesn't trigger, the chakra surveillance network, because that is limited to the outer edge of the village, which once you pass through that gate, you're not within the bubble of the chakra net. So Code manifests himself through a gateway on the edge of the village, and he basically uses the black bands to pass, like, parts of his body through, and he left one with Ida and Damon, right? Like, it looks like Damon's just taking a nap. He's not awake, right? But he's basically using Ida as his eyes and ears, right? Because he doesn't know exactly where Kawaki is, and he only had about 8 different points of entry that Konoha discovered on the outside of the village, right? So he pops in through one of these gateways, and he's able to, like, pass his mouth through the gateway on his hand, and he can basically talk to Ida. He tells her to guide him, right? He's like, all right, Ida, I need you to guide me, basically be my eyes and ears, help me find Kawaki. And I'm trying to tell you, this is gross. Like, how Deidara had hands on his mouth? Like, this is worse, because this guy can basically put his mouth on his hand and then, like, flap his lips somewhere else, bro. Like, if he had, like, what I'm saying? If Code had a girl, bro, you know what I'm saying? Code is freaky with it. If Code had a girl, bro, she was like, I want you to put a little claw mark right there, you know what I'm talking about. And then she just, oh, dude, that would be terrible. She just texts him, like, right now, and he'd be like, right now? She'd be like, I said right now. And then this man just starts, like, this man just put his hand on his mouth and started, like, he started yapping on it, licking that joint up, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. I went in too gross, but it was gross, bro, seeing his mouth pass through that shit and just talk to Ida. And then he does it again after he gives Ida the instructions to guide him. Like, he puts his hand on his ear, which passes his ear through the gateway so he can hear Ida's directions, which is pretty handy ability when you think about it. So he basically has the world's greatest, like, surveillance camera and audio track at his disposal. So he just puts his hand on his ear, and Ida tells him everything that she sees and hears. So she's basically going to tell him where Kawaki is. Like, she's like, all right, go left and swing around this way right there, and Kawaki will be there in, like, like 10 feet from now or some shit like that, which is pretty cool. She's but then chapter comes to an end, right? And, like, Kawaki leaps right over the gate, right? Like, he legit leaps over the edge of the village, so he's outside of the surveillance thing, so now he doesn't have to worry about suppressing his chakra anymore. which is interesting because I don't know what it is Kawaki's planning on doing, because he knows for a fact that like they don't know about Ida's ability and that she can see everything that they're doing, you know what I'm saying? So like, why did he want to leave? Like I get it, like he wants to break free and stuff, and like, you know, have some privacy and stop being watched 24/7, but like, what is it that he's actually trying to accomplish? Like, what is it he's out going to do? And like, he's about whatever it is he's trying to go do. He's probably trying to go jack off somewhere without fucking ninjas knowing what he's doing or some shit. But whatever it is he's trying to do, Code's definitely gonna find him and interrupt it, and they're probably gonna have to fight or something like that. So I'm anticipating next chapter we're gonna get Code versus Kawaki in some sort of way. They're definitely gonna have a conversation and talk a bit, but then I definitely see it getting physical, and Code and Kawaki are probably gonna fight. And I'm wondering if Code doesn't have to keep his promise to Ida anymore, for one, unless like, you know, he's working some multi-step plan. But if he wanted to kill Kawaki right now, it should be able to work, because he's far enough away from like Ida's original position where he shouldn't be affected by, like, you know, her simp no jutsu ability, where like if you're close enough to her, then like it doesn't matter, because you're gonna fall in love with her as long as you're in her presence, and your body won't let you like hurt her or cause her harm or anything like that, right? So if he's far enough away, like, can he go against her will now and kill Kawaki, or like, you know, store him away somewhere else so that way he can have leverage over Ida? So like the next time he sees Ida, he can like, and she'll be like, bring him here, and he's like, nah, he's stored away somewhere safe. I need you to, like, you know, I need, like, before I give him up to you, you know, I need you to fulfill your end of the bargain before, you know, you convince me to kill myself out of love for you or some shit like that. Because I bet you she could do that, because like if you really love that girl, you'd probably do anything for her. And I bet you she could make men kill themselves for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be with you in the afterlife. Just go ahead and slice your throat. And the dude would be like, yes, my love. Sling. You know, and some like Romeo and Juliet type shit. Like fools in love doing stupid stuff. But I definitely think, since we saw Sasuke this chapter, it's not going to be fair if, like, because Code already has an advantage over Kawaki just being himself. Like, he's innately stronger from what we understand. But he also has the advantage of getting intel directly from Ida and stuff. So she could, like, literally tell Code, like, things that she can say to trigger him in order to like fuck with his mental game, which will fuck up his physical game, which could end up having him win the fight even easier, you know what I'm saying? Or convincing Code, convincing Kawaki to like willingly go with Code or some shit like that, because she knows everything that's gone down. She looks physically older than Kawaki, so she knows everything that's ever happened with this kid. So I definitely think if like whatever interaction they end up having, Sasuke is gonna come through and interrupt it next chapter. So I'm pretty sure chapter 62 is gonna be Code versus Kawaki, or it's gonna be like Code and Ida versus Kawaki and Sasuke, because we already see it right now. It's Code with Ida support. Like, if this was Ninja Storm 4 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is Code, and he's got Ida as support, and it would be Kawaki with Sasuke as support. Because I definitely see Sasuke showing up to save this kid's life last minute. And things are getting heated, man. And, like, we know the time skip's coming up soon. So, like, it's possible Kawaki does get abducted, and, like, when he, like, you know, we get that time skip. And, man, we just don't know what's going to happen, bro. Like, it's possible. So many things are possible right now. So many theories rushing through my head and stuff, which is a good reason to call this video at an end, because that's basically the end of the chapter for show. Chapter 62 is gonna it's looking to be amazing right now, and the pacing from this chapter alone, really well done. The way it started off, like, you know, it started off with that, it continued with, like, you know, the laid backness of, like, the transition period from the last chapter, because, you know, we can't just jump from fight to fight to fight. Like, we need those transition periods to build up the reasoning that we're having the next fight. But the pacing in this chapter was really good, because it went from boys just hanging out and being bros to, like, Sasuke showing up and we get to see what's good with him, to, like, okay, now we understand how we can exploit the system to stop being spied on 24/7. And we also learn that Boruto and Kawaki are still gaining access to new Osutsuki abilities and stuff, like Kawaki being able to suppress his chakra completely 100% or whatever, was described by Ida as a like just an instinctual trait that the Osutsuki have. So it's probably coming in him section nature. He doesn't even have to train or like learn it, you know know, nobody has to teach them how to do it. It's just something second nature to these guys. And Boruto being able to sense where a Kawaki is, like, you know, by like some Osutsuki like frequency or wave patterns or whatever. That's another trait that like these boys are still developing as Osutsukis, which messes me up because Code also has the power of an Osutsuki inside of him, but it doesn't seem like he's getting any of the Osutsuki like buffs. Like, he just has the power. He doesn't get any of like the side effects of being Osutsuki. And I'm wondering if that's going to start changing soon. Like, yeah, man, it's interesting. We still don't have any confirmation of what's going on with Amado and Kawaki's new like artificial karma, but that seems like it's gonna start happening in like the next, I want to say 5 chapters from now or something like that. So let me know what you guys think about chapter 61. I thought it was pretty good. If I was to give it a rating, I'd say it's like, you know, 8 out of 10, maybe even 8.5 out of 10. It was a pretty good read, entertaining. I liked the pacing. We got to see Sasuke, which was nice, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share. Go follow me on TikTok so you can, you know, catch episode, like anime episode content from me regarding Boruto. You know, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on videos. Hit the bell icon for notifications. And yeah, man, let me know what you guys are thinking about Kawaki versus Code, or the potential for it being like a sort of like Kawaki and Sasuke team up versus Code and like say Ida team up. Because if things get crazy for Code, like we see that he can pass his like lips and his ear through the portal, and he's already got one on Ida. Like, it's possible he can just, like, you know how he did Bug, how he just ripped Bug out from underneath Damon and through his cloak. It's possible, like, if Sasuke and Kawaki overwhelm him in any shape or form, he just pull Ida and Damon straight out from his cloak, and then we get an even bigger fight going down. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's been your boy, the Grass Ninja, and I'm out. Peace.